All right, good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, or whenever you're watching this, if you're not going to be watching it live. So, continuing on from yesterday, tonight's class is going to be focused again on arm strength and core strength. So, a nice little flow, some variations as well. For those of you that want to take it a little bit easier or aren't quite there yet with regards to the strength. As always, you just do what you can and just be really, really mindful of the positioning of your body. Just don't muscle your way into things. Just try to be really mindful about your hand positioning, just where everything is, and just make sure you're really feeling what's happening inside, so that you don't take it too far and cause yourself an injury. Especially if you're still working into your core strength and into your arm strength, just, err on the side of caution. We're going to start in child's pose, just to come to the breath and just to get us ready before we come into the practice. So, so I think that's pretty much it. Let's come to child's pose. So you can have knees together or knees wide in your child's pose, whatever feels good. And just coming down and bringing your forehead to the mat. And just allowing yourself, as always, to settle in. Letting go of your day. Letting go of your week so far. And letting go of your to-do list for tomorrow, this evening. Just allowing yourself to be present on your mat. And just paying attention to how you're feeling right now. And then just bringing your awareness to your breath. And let's start to deepen the breath. And as we start to draw our breath down into the abdomen, allowing the abdomen to expand like a balloon, feeling it pressing into your legs. And drawing that breath of the body into the ribs, up into the shoulders. Maybe activating your Ujjayi breath, breathing with sound now. And gently lifting the gaze, we'll walk the hands back towards the body. And we're in the middle of our mat, so if you're at the front, you maybe want to come into to face side on to your mat right now. And let's just sit nice and tall. Let's just work through the body. Let's interlace fingers. Inhale, reach the arms high. Send the heart forward, find an opening through the chest. Exhale, press the hands away, round through the spine. Tuck tailbone under. Inhale, reach, open through the chest. Exhale, press the hands forward, flexion through the spine. Inhale, reaching again. Find that extension. And exhale, find that flexion. Draw that tailbone under. Inhale, reach. And exhale, we'll bring the right hand onto the mat. Now we'll take a little slightly in here. And stretching out the side body. As always, option to go a little bit deeper and try to take the left hip as far away from those fingertips as you can, so you're really feeling that side stretch. Inhale, coming up through center. And exhale, taking it over to the other side. Again, just moving the hips right a little bit here. And just so you feel that stretch coming all the way from the hips, through the side body, up through that right shoulder. And inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, release. We're going to warm the wrist up a little bit now. So let's start to make some rotations with those wrists. So keep the fingers spread for the time being. And let's rotate those wrists the opposite way. If you're uncomfortable sitting on your heels, you can come to a cross-legged position just for this part, or sit on a block or a bolster, put a bolster in between your legs and just sit on that. And now let's clench the fists and continue those rotations. And just finding that full range, as always, through that wrist joint. On the opposite way with those rotations now. Just noticing how those wrists feel. And let's shake the wrists out. And take the hands forward. We're going to do finger extensors. So send those fingers as wide as you can. And then clench them into a fist. Wide. And then into a fist. And now we're going to do this as quickly as you can. And this is really going to start to warm up the wrists, warm up the fingers. Maybe your hands are cold. And doing this is a nice quick way to warm up the hands, bringing blood into those hands. Send the arms high, continue those finger extensors. Maybe they're already starting to feel warm, starting to fatigue. Keep going. And then take the arms wide and continue. And release, just pressing those fingertips down, pressing out through the wrists. So keeping the fingers straight, but imagine you're trying to pull the fingertips towards the elbow. And let's take it the opposite way. So heels of the hands out. And pulling those fingertips back towards the shoulders. And then just warming up those shoulders, warming up those wrists. And release. Just give the shoulders a roll. Good, and we'll bring the right hand onto the mat now. So that you can get the heel of the hand down. And then take the left arm high into that side stretch again. And now we're going to send the hips forward. As we send the hips forward, the left knee should lift off of the mat. We're going to send that left leg out. You can option to keep it down here, option to send the leg out. Maybe you can move through that left ankle. And then lowering that left foot back down. Keep sending those hips forward. So just make sure that that right shoulder is over the wrist. You may need to shuffle that right hand around just to make sure it is. You're going to really connect the right hand to the mat now. Really connect the outside of the left foot to the mat and see if you can press those down and lift that right knee off the mat. So maybe you're here, maybe you're bringing that right knee into the body, staying here, or maybe you're extending that right foot forward. As you extend that foot forward, try to keep that compression connection between that thigh and the stomach. And we'll hold 2 more breaths. 1 more breath if you can. And exhale, bend that right knee, bring it back onto the mat. We'll drop the hips down and we'll just come into a little bit of a side stretch. Just stretching the side and also just stretching through this left leg. Nice deep breathing. Walking those hands back around. Right hand onto the mat. I'm just checking that those fingertips are facing away from you, something I probably should have mentioned earlier. And again, hips forward, pressing the outside of that left foot down. Again, move that hand position if you need to, the right shoulder over that wrist. Press the mat away, press that left foot into the mat. Send that left arm overhead if you're going well. See if you can lift that right knee up. Pull it into the chest if you're going super well. Extend the leg if you wish. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Bend that right knee, bring it back down. We're going to pivot on that right knee, turn the foot a little bit closer towards that right hand, and just come into a little bit of a heart opener. Just reaching back, keep sending those hips forward. Inhale, exhale, and just coming back around. We'll plant the hands onto the floor. So finding the tabletop, just bring that right foot back so it's in line with the hip. We'll lift the left foot up. Send that left foot back. And exhale, bringing that left knee back onto the mat. Sitting back on those heels. I'm going to try it again, but on the other side. Left hand down. And inhale, take the right arm high. Reaching. Finding that extension through the right side body. And then coming up, sending the hips forward again. As you send those hips forward, that right knee should now lift off of the mat. Option to be here, you can have the knee bent. Option to straighten that right leg and keep the foot down. Or option to lift that right foot up. Again, whatever feels good in your body. Okay, maybe you want to wiggle that right ankle. Even if it's down here, this is all good. And dropping that right foot to the mat. So it's exactly the same on the other side. Again, if you need to move that hand, just checking the position. Remember, we need to stack joints. It's really important to stack joints, especially if you're doing any arm balancing, to protect the joints. It makes it easier as well. So again, connect the left hand to the mat, outside of the right foot to the mat, press them down. See if you can lift that left knee up. If you're going well, pull it in towards the stomach. And if you're going super well, extend that leg and hold. For 3, breathe in. For 2, connect to bandus, draw the navel in. 1, exhale, plant that left knee back down. We'll set the left bum cheek on top of that heel, and we'll take a little side stretch. And again, just working into the back of that right leg. Option to come onto the heel if that feels good. Option to work more into the side body, again, if you need that here. And coming back around. Plant that left hand down. And again, hips forward. Get that connection between the right foot And the outside of the right foot's on the mat, left hand pressing down. Reach that right arm up overhead. And if you can, lift that left knee up. And again, maybe we're just here. Maybe we're pulling that left thigh in. Maybe we're extending that leg. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Exhale, bringing that knee back down again. Maybe pivot on that left knee. Turn the foot towards that left hand. And we'll open up. Just working the heart open. Keep pressing the hips forward so you're opening through that left hip a little bit here. Inhale. And exhale, release. Bringing hands to the mat. Pivot on that left knee. Bring that left foot back behind the knee. And inhale, send that right leg up. Maybe the hip shift left, that's all right. Just try to keep pressing those hips towards the right. And inhale, send that right foot back. And exhale. Bring the knees together. We'll sit back and take a rest in child's pose. Just regulate the breath here. And coming back up onto the hands and knees. We're going to spin around on our mats so that we're facing the top of the mat now. Let's tuck toes under, send hips back and up. And we'll find our downward facing dog. And as always, maybe you wish to pedal the legs out here. Keep those deep breaths going. Just take a moment, begin to connect to how you feel. Every day is different in the body. Option, as always, to bend knees. To get a nice flat back in your downward dog. And let's walk the hands towards the feet. And let's find a forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you need to as we come into this forward fold. Soften the neck. Maybe move the head side to side. Just releasing the neck. Maybe nod the head. And then just find complete softness through that neck. Take hold of opposite elbows to take ragdoll if you wish. Or catch the big toes if you wish to go a little bit deeper in this forward fold. As we stretch the backs of the legs. Tipping the weight forward into the balls of the feet here. And see if you can really squeeze the glutes. Squeeze the legs. Finding that strength through the legs. Knees bent slightly here. And releasing the toes. Keeping those glutes engaged. Keeping the legs engaged. We'll come into a halfway lift. Let's take the arms out to the side. Keep the navel drawn in. Work the half forward. And taking the arms above the head if it feels okay. Just working into our back strength here. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing hands back to the mat. Find your forward fold. Inhale. Let's walk those hands forward and find our downward facing dog again. Let's bring the feet together. And pull the ankles together as well here. So again, really finding strength through the legs. Let's tuck our tailbone under. We'll work our way forward into a high plank. Hold your high plank for me. Wrap the triceps under. Press through the shoulders. Squeeze glutes. Squeeze ankles. Everything engaged here. Make sure the index finger, the thumb finger are pressing into the mat. They're not lifting. And we'll swivel over onto the outside of the right foot as we find our side plank. So again, if you're a little bit wobbly here, you can keep that left hand down, just work those hips high. If you're going well, reach that left arm high. If you're going super well, maybe you want to lift that left leg. You can just find where it feels good in your body. Option to stay here, option to stay here, option to bend that left knee, drop that foot back so you're on the ball of the foot, open up. Finding wild thing. And slowly, slowly, looking down towards that right hand, coming through, bringing left hand onto the mat, pivoting round, stepping left foot back onto the mat, find that high plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Through chaturanga, you can drop to your knees here if you need to. Inhale, we'll come into cobra. So working the shoulder blades down the back, draw the elbows towards each other here. Little press with the hands, but not lifting up too high. Drive the feet into the mat. Inhale. And exhale, lowering down. Let's tuck toes under. We'll send the hips back and up into that downward facing dog again. Regulate the breath if you lost the breath. Maybe this time, if you did lose the breath, maybe this time focus a little bit more on the breath rather than getting deep into the posture. And maybe take an easier variation. Let's bring the feet together. Squeeze the ankles together. Find that strength. And let's tuck the tailbone under. We'll move forward and find that high plank position. Again, now's your chance to check on your plank. That the hands really pressing into the mat, rounding through the upper back. Triceps are wrapping under. Feeling that core work. Draw the navel in. Pull the tailbone under, squeeze those glutes. And rocking over to the outside of the left foot. Again, option, you can drop your left knee to the mat here if you wish. If you want to take an easier variation, similar to what we did a moment ago. If you're going well, lift those hips nice and high. Reach that right arm high. And as always, if you're going super well, you can lift that right foot. Keep that breath going. Staying here, or you're coming into your wild thing. Drop that right foot down. Open through the front of the hips. Open up the chest, reach back. Inhale and exhale, slowly coming back through. Lift that right foot up. Right hand comes back down, right foot comes back down. We'll find that high plank position. Inhale there. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. We'll drop knees. Inhale, cobra. And we'll hold a few breaths. Work that upper back strength. Pull the shoulders back and down. And exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes under, send the hips back. And up, downward facing dog. And again, regulate that breath. And let's send that right leg high for Rachel's favourite posture in the world, three-legged dog. She's watching now You probably just burst out laughing. Just press that left thigh back. Find a stretch through that left thigh. Keep dropping that right hip down. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee, bring it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the core. And inhale, shoot it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, shoot it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. And this time we're going to twist. Bring that right knee towards the left arm. Straighten that right foot. Drop that back heel to the mat. And we'll find that fallen triangle. Sending the left arm high. Breathing nice and deep. Maybe gazing towards that left hand. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing that left hand back down. Bringing that right leg in towards the stomach. Again, working that core strength. And then send it back. Downward facing dog. Hold your downward dog. You can drop to child's pose if you wish. Or we're going to take a vinyasa. Inhale as you move forward into your high plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra. Or you can come into upward facing dog now if it's in your practice, if it feels good. And exhale. Downward facing dog. So repeating this on the left side, as always. And raising that left leg towards the ceiling now. Again, keep the ankle flexed. You can point the toe, but sometimes I find with the ankle flexed, I don't know, it helps the position of the hip. It means we can press back through that heel. Press back through that right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, bend that knee. Bring it in towards the chest squeeze. Shoulders move over the wrists. Inhale, move it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. Inhale, move it back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in, squeeze. And we're going to twist. Take the knee towards the right elbow and straighten that right leg. Drop that back heel. Finding that fallen triangle on the left side. Breathe in deep. Inhale. And exhale. Plant that right hand down. Bringing that left foot back through. Find that core strength. And set that left foot back. Downward facing dog. Holding your downward dog. Or we're taking a vinyasa. Inhale as we move forward. High plank. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra. Or your upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale, drop knees to the mat. Sit back on the heels. And find child's pose. Option to make some rotations with those wrists. We've been on the hands a long time. And lifting the gaze. Let's come back to a tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes under, send the hips back and up into our downward facing dog again. Let's raise that right leg again to the ceiling. A three-legged dog. Press back through that right heel. Press back through that left hip. Inhale. And exhale, bending that right knee. Let's find that core strength. So try to pull that right knee towards the right upper arm. And we're going to hold. For 3. For 2. 1. If you can, you're going to bring that right foot forward. to the outside of that right hand. Moving onto the mat if it's not on the mat. We're going to drop that back heel to the mat. Right hand presses, right knee comes over the ankle if it's available, and we'll open up into our extended side angle posture here. It might feel a little bit familiar to what we did earlier. That left foot is planted, that right hand is pressing into the mat. So working through that core strength. If it's available, you're going to see if you can really get that connection again between the outside of that left foot. Press that right hand down and see if you can pick that right foot up off your mat. Again, bringing it through, sending that right foot forward, setting it down, and we'll find that fallen triangle again. Maybe you're lifting the gaze. Inhale. Exhale. Let's see if we can pick that right foot up, pull it in towards the chest, spin back around, and drop that right foot to the outside of the hand again. So not easy. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the left hand down. Come back onto the ball of that back foot, and we'll send that right foot back to meet the left, finding your high plank. Or you can rest, downward dog, or find child's pose. Exhale as you lower down if you want to join me for a vinyasa. Inhale, cobra, or your upward facing dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. And left side. Raise that left leg to the ceiling. Three-legged dog. Shoot the energy out through that heel. Press back through that right hip. Inhale. Exhale, bend that left knee. Find that core strength around the spine. See if you can pull that knee towards that left shoulder, the left upper arm will hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it forward, outside of that left hand. Drop that back heel. So left hand is inside that leg, that foot, and opening up into our extended side angle. We're just reaching our hand towards the ceiling. Opening through the chest, opening through the hips. And again, we're going to try that move on this side. Again, a little bit of a challenge, see how you get on. So again, firstly, just check that you're really connecting the left hand down, really pressing left hand down. You're connecting the right foot down. If you can, lift that left foot up, bring it through, and send it forward to find that triangle. If you have room, I don't have much room here. Let's move over. Just sending that right arm high. Again, maybe you're lifting the gaze. Inhale. And exhale, picking that left foot up again. Coming round if you can. Finding that core strength. And driving that left foot forward. Outside of that left hand again. Maybe you had to put that right hand down. I think I just about made it that time. And bring right hand down now. And we'll pick the left foot up, send it back to meet the right foot. Again, you can rest in your downward dog. You can find child's, or we're going to take another vinyasa. Inhale to move forward, exhale to lower down. Inhale, cobra, or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling. And exhale, drum knees to the mat. Find your child's pose. Again, release the wrists, if that feels good. And moving forward, we'll find tabletop. Let's tuck toes under, send hips back and up. Finding that downward facing dog again. Raise the right leg, three-legged dog. And press through the heels of the hands. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right knee, bring it through. Find that compression strength around through your spine. And drop that right foot between the hands. Finding a crescent lunge. Let's just sink into our crescent lunge here. Send the heart forward. Let's check that right knee is over the ankle. Left hand to the mat. Again, just check it's underneath that left shoulder, and we'll open up into a nice little twist. And we're going to drop outside of that left foot onto the mat. You can be on the sole of the foot if you wish. We're going to try to pick the right foot up and find our side plank again. And again, here or here, lifting that leg up if you wish. And if you want to, dropping that right foot back again to find that wild thing. And picking that right foot back up, controlling it through, and bringing it back towards the top of the mat. Finding that twist, that easy twist again. Inhale. And exhale, drop that right hand down outside of the right foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Again, you can rest in your down dog or child's, or we're lowering down through our vinyasa. Inhale, upward or cobra, and exhale, downward. Last side, and I'm going to make our way to seated. Left leg raises, three-legged dog. Press back through the right hip. Press back through that left heel. Inhale. Exhale, bend that left knee. Around through the upper back as you bring that left foot through and drop it between the hands. Again, let's find a lunge on this side. Heart forward. Sink through those hips. And coming into that easy twist on the other side. Right hand down. Again, just check the shoulder is stacked over the wrist. And reach left arm high. And dropping outside of that left foot to the mat. And bringing that left foot back. Finding that side plank again. And again, it's whatever side plank feels good in your body. Maybe you're holding your side plank, maybe you're bending that left knee, bringing the foot towards the bum, dropping it down, and working into that wall thing. Keep the breath going. And coming back around, lifting that left foot up. Nice and slowly with control. See if you can find that compression strength. Move that left foot forward again and find that twist. Okay, not easy. Inhale. Exhale, lower that left hand outside of that left foot. Inhale, send the left foot back to meet the right. Find your high plank. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale. And exhale, drop to the knees. Let's swing the legs around, or you can cross the legs over and we'll come to a sit. Let's shake out the wrists. All done. No more wrist work. Maybe, what time have we got? No, let's call it a day. No more wrist work. I had something else planned, but I think we've worked hard enough this evening. It's all good. So let's come into a little bit more core work, and we'll find Ashavasana very, very soon. So finding that balance point, we're going to draw the knees into the body. Give yourself a squeeze. Just lift the feet off the mat. See if you can draw the navel in. See if you can round through the spine. And think about pulling everything in to a little ball. We're going to hold for a couple more breaths here. Now squeeze the knees together. Squeeze the thighs together. Release the legs. Send the hands forward and hold. Breathe for 5. Round, round, round. For 4, squeeze everything in. Knees to the chest. For 3, 2, and 1. Release the feet to the mat. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe take a little counter pose if that feels good. Open through the chest. And we're going to do the same again. So again, just lifting those feet up. Hug yourself in. Find that core strength, that compression strength. Pull yourself into a little ball. And again, squeeze the knees in. Squeeze the thighs in. Hold, hold, hold. Round through your spine. Pull everything into a ball and release. Hands forward. Hold. For 5. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 4. Pull everything in. For 3. 2. And 1. Set the feet down. Give yourself a cuddle. Or again, hands behind the back. And take a little counter pose. Let's take the feet forward. And let's make our way down onto our backs. And stretch the arms overhead here. Have a little release. And we're going to pull those knees back into the body, giving yourself a squeeze. We're going to do exactly the same, but on our backs. So again, you're going to lift the head and shoulders up. If the neck doesn't feel good here, you can always support the head with the hands, and you could be here. If you're going well, again, you've got to release and reach those hands nice and high. We're going to stay for 5. Keep breathing. 4, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. For 3, if you're going to really try to close that gap between stomach, chest, thighs. For 2, and 1, exhale, release. Release the feet, have a little stretch, take the arms overhead. One more round. Draw those knees in. We're at the end, almost there. Done so well. I'm saying this to myself. You've done so well. This hardcore class. So pull those thighs in, pull the knees in again, support the head, the neck if you need to, and release. Hands towards the ceiling. Pull everything in. Hold for 5. Last bit of effort. For 4. 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2. And 1. Exhale, release. Let's bring the feet onto the mat. Let's just stretch out the front body a little bit before we come into our Shavasana. Bring hands onto that. Tuck shoulder blades under the back. Feet, hips width apart. Make sure they're parallel with each other. And let's just lift the hips up. Option to bring the hands under the back, interlace the fingers. Nice little shoulder stretch. We've worked those shoulders quite a lot this evening. Let's stretch through those abs. Lift those hips nice and high. Squeeze the glutes. 2 more breaths here. And as you exhale, release the hands, come all the way back down. Hug the knees into the chest. Let's take the arms out to the seat. Let's just release the spine. Let's drop the knees with control over to the left. And drop the head over to the right. Let's release, release, release. And draw your head back to center. Draw the knees back through center. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lowering those legs with control over to the right. And dropping the head over to the left. Just letting everything go. Letting go of the practice. No matter how well you think you did, remember it's a showing up that counts. Just cultivate that patience. And draw head back to center. Draw the knees back through center. And just bring feet onto the mat. We'll send those feet as wide as the mat. Taking up space with the arms, palms facing up. As we come into a very well-earned Shavasana. As always, feel free to grab a blanket if you have a blanket close to you, or if you have a jumper, please cover yourself. And when you're comfortable, just release the Ujjayi breath. Release bandhas. Eyes are closed. Face is soft. Jaw relaxed. And as you're resting here, a reminder to not be hard on yourself. Whether on your mat or in your daily life, just know that you are doing your best in every moment. That's all we can ask of ourselves. Never compare yourself to anybody else. We're all on different journeys, at different points in our journeys, and we all have different strengths and weaknesses. That's what makes us all so individual, all so beautiful. To quote my mom, if we were all the same, the world would be a boring place. So celebrate your uniqueness. Allow yourself to be exactly where you are. And resting here, feel free to take a little bit more time in your Shavasana. No need to wake yourself up right now. Take as long as you need. Otherwise, we're going to take an inhale. Exhale the breath, completely connect the navel to the spine. Inhale the breath into your heart space. Exhale the breath into the fingertips and the toes. And start to wiggle the fingers and toes. And bring some movement back to your body. Rotating wrists and ankles. Moving your limbs. And bringing feet and legs together, taking arms overhead for a full body stretch. And draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze. And as always, just taking a moment to show gratitude. Gratitude for what your body can already do. And patience, showing acceptance with where you are. Let's rock to our right hand side. And joining me again in a comfortable seated, cross-legged position. Sitting nice and tall. Let's bring our hands into Anjali Mudra at our heart center. We'll close the eyes. Let's reconnect with the breath. We'll finish with the sacred sound Om, 3 Shantis. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hare Om. Raising our hands to our heads for kindness in our thoughts, to ourselves and to each other. To our hearts for kindness in our actions, and to our lips for kindness in our words. From my heart to your heart, always. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for my arm strengthening, upper body strengthening, core strengthening class. I know it can be a little bit challenging, but like I said, you just do what you can, you do your best, and that's all we can do in life and on our yoga mats. And remember, all is good. Be patient. Be present. As long as we're present with the breath, we're doing the yoga, so it doesn't matter where we get to in the practice. As always, if you like the video, please, if you enjoyed the video, please like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. Please share the video with those, anyone else who you think might enjoy the video, those that are looking to build arm strength, core strength. And as always, if you can donate, please feel free to donate if you are financially stable. If you're not financially stable right now, please just enjoy the classes for free. Yeah, I hope you're all safe, you're all well. And there's some meditations on my channel now. I'm going to be doing some tutorials as well, like breaking down postures. I've been asked to do a tutorial about using the yoga wheel, what you can use the yoga wheel for. So I'll be doing that as well. So look out. There's going to be other classes coming, not live classes. I'll just upload some videos for you guys to check out and just keep you sane in this time. Yes, so I shall see you same time tomorrow evening if you're practicing with me live, 7 o'clock, Monday to Friday every evening, and Sunday mornings at 9:30. So I see you tomorrow at 7. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Sleep well.